Sincerity, 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 sincerity. It's a word that Ali Abdaal used in one of his videos when he was trying to describe how you should take on projects that are important to you.
Approaching things sincerely versus approaching things seriously.
And I thought that distinction between taking something seriously versus taking something sincerely reframes the way that you approach or deal with the more challenging goals you might have set out for yourself. And you see this usually as things start to develop. Initially, there's a lot of novelty and excitement around a project. There's a turning point where you kind of were doing it because you thought it'd be fun or you thought it'd be cool, and you're seeing progress, and as a result, find yourself trying to force yourself to do it because you should, because look how good it's going, if only I could do a bit more, I should be taking this more seriously. And I feel like that approach of kind of beating yourself up to get through it, as opposed to trying to work with yourself, just kind of like no matter what, you just need to get there. And I like the middle ground of sincerely because it addresses the importance of the project to you, but it also addresses the approach. So if you approach something sincerely, it's a way of doing something where as long as you're giving it your best shot every time, that approach thinks about the sustainability part, where if this is especially something which will be somewhat long-term, you're going to do it again and again. And Andrew Huberman talks about this in a podcast. He has his own podcast, but there was a podcast where he was being interviewed and he was saying, look, if you need to brute force your way to one goal, you could do it. But if this is something that you're going to have to keep relying on again and again and again to keep, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, you need to find a way to calm yourself and sustain, as opposed to kind of these sprints. So it's kind of the marathon versus the sprint approach.
To put this simply, one of the most powerful things that any person can do is to learn to control this idea of duration, path, and outcome, and attach an internal sense of reward, just that you're doing well. To reward yourself mentally, just say, I'm doing well, I'm actually on the right path. To do that inside of the demands that come from the external world. The more often that we can self-reward some aspect of the process, provided it's in the right direction of what we're trying to achieve, the more energy we're going to have for that, the more focus we're going to have for that.
And taking something sincerely gives the importance and also pays attention to your health, your mental and physical health, and how you get there, and not prioritizing the end goal over yourself or prioritizing the end goal over the way that you get there. And I just thought that was really interesting, and I wanted to shed light on it and some comments on it. Both of those videos are really great. So Ali Abdaal's video and the Andrew Huberman podcast, he was on someone else's podcast when he talked about that, and I can link that with a timestamp. But he has his own podcast, which is great, and I probably will talk about that maybe in a future video. I hope you can take something away from this, especially if you're working on goals, and sometimes you get so passionate about it that you really want it to do well that you start to, what I see as, sabotage yourself by over prioritizing the outcome and under prioritizing a sustainable process that keeps you going instead of burns you out. That's it for me. See you later. Thanks. Bye.